What's going on, guys? Danny here from Metal Couch, and today we're going to be talking about the highly anticipated album from Overkill, White Devil Armory. Now, I had reviewed The Armorist earlier this month and gave it a generally positive review. It got me really hyped up for this album, but does this album live up to the hype? Well, before we get to that, let's go through the track listing for the album. So you open up with a 50-second intro track involving heavily distorted guitars accented with some synth effects entitled XDM, and I have to say that this intro is very, very good. I really like the sound of that intro track. It's got a very... I want to say that it evokes images of like a futuristic world where there might be robots with guns running around, shooting people, I don't know. It's a really cool intro track leading into Armorist, which I've already reviewed. There's no reason for me to spend much time on that. And you get to Down to the Bone, which to me is not exactly a standout track on the album. It's definitely a song that's purpose would be to be played live to get the crowd really hyped up. So I didn't really think that this track was anything notable, but I can understand its purpose of why it would be on this album for future set lists for Overkill live. And then you get to track 4, Pig, which is probably the most interesting track on this album, just for the fact that during the chorus you hear Bobby Blitz screaming that he is a pig. I'm a pig, I'm a pig, I'm a pig, over and over again. It's very strange, but at the same time, I really, really like this song. I can't quite explain why I like it. It could be the awkwardness of him yelling that he's a pig over and over again, but it leads into one of the biggest points that I've noticed about this album is that Pig is 5 minutes and 21 seconds long. In fact, the overall runtime for this album is a little over 50 minutes. This is a stark contrast to some of the albums I have been reviewing this summer, which have either been way too short or just not long enough. This album at about 50 minutes, later on, it has some tracks that kind of could have been shortened a little bit, but it's nice to see some thrash songs that are over 4 minutes. I haven't really listened to an album lately where the thrash songs last 5-6 minutes long. But moving on. Bitter Pill is a little bit of a slow down, kind of take a break, because this album, for the first 4 tracks, completely kicks off, starts kicking ass, and we need to slow down and take a break for a little bit. Now with Bitter Pill, it's very it's very groovy. It doesn't really have a thrash feel to it, which for a slower song you probably wouldn't have too much thrash. But again, going back to Down to the Bone, it's like it's an okay track. It's not something that, if I wanted to listen to this album, that I would go straight to. Not really too big on Bitter Pill, but that's easily canceled out by the next track, Where There's Smoke. Where There's Smoke is probably one of my favorite tracks off the album, because where there's smoke, there is fire. And Overkill definitely reiterate that in this song by having awesome guitar work. Guitar work really stands out on this particular track. Definitely give this one a listen when it drops. Then you get Freedom Rings, which is almost 7 minutes long and leads into one of the themes of this album, I guess, is that Freedom Rings, as the title may suggest, is a patriotic song, and we'll be revisiting the theme of patriotism later on in this album. But I feel that this track is a little too long. I think you could easily cut out about 1.5 minutes of it, shorten it down, get it to about 5.5 minute mark, and then I think you guys would have been golden. And then you get Another Day to Die. Another Day to Die is probably, again, much like Where There's Smoke, this is a good track off of this album. If I were to have somebody listen to this album for the first time, it would be Armorist, Pig maybe after a few tracks, definitely Where There's Smoke, and so far Another Day to Die. Another Day to Die is probably the heaviest track off of the album. Highly enjoyable, and again, like Where There's Smoke, the guitar work really shines here. King of the Rap Bastards. When I saw that there was a track on this album entitled that, I didn't really know what to think. Again, I don't really like this track too much. I'm not sure if it would be like Bitter Pill my least favorite, but it's not really that good. So I don't know. You guys let me know what you think about this when the album drops. It's All Yours, and then to close out the album, In the Name. It's All Yours is a great track. Probably, I don't really know how to rank that one, because I think it's a good track, but at the same time it feels like a filler song. It's kind of overshadowed by the next track, In the Name, which, revisiting that theme of patriotism, In the Name sounds like a patriotic hymn towards the end. And it's really weird. I wouldn't say it's weird on the level of Pig, but I've never heard Overkill do something like this before. I don't really know how to feel about In the Name. An overwhelming sense of patriotism, and that's just kind of strange. But I know I'm kind of like downplaying it a little bit. I got really excited at the beginning of the album, but I don't really know how to feel about this track. It's 6 minutes to close out the album, but forgetting about the tracks now. I've spent way too long on that. Production-wise, production is damn near identical to the Electric Age. There's nothing really new here, other than maybe the opening track, which caught me by surprise. I had no idea that that was coming. I thought, well, we'll just lead into Armorist and we'll be on our way. Nope! Synth and extremely distorted guitars. So, production-wise, nothing's really changed. That's not necessarily a bad thing, as I think that the Electric Age was a well-produced album, and unlike some other albums that are coming out soon, cough, Slayer's new album, this album does not have stripped-down, boring production. I think that it sounds really good for a modern thrash album. So, overall, is White Devil Armory a good album? Yes. Is it candidate for Album of the Year? Sure. It's a really, really good album. If you guys, you guys need to pick up this album, alright? It's Overkill. You can't really go wrong with Overkill. If you need a thrash fix, this album is going to do it for you. My biggest dilemma is what to give this album a grade out of 10, because you do have tracks like Bitter Pill, King of the Rat Bastards, and some weird things going on within the name. I don't really know exactly where to put it. Same thing with Freedom Rings, because as I said, you could probably shorten that one and be okay. So I'm not exactly sure where to place this out of 10. There are some tracks here that are easily 9s and 10s, but then you have some 6s and maybe some light 7s. So probably to compromise between the two, I'm going to be fairly generous with this album. I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10, and I'm going to give it a recommendation. When this album drops on the 18th, pick this album up. Because I've already got my copy reserved, so before everybody in the comment section starts flaming me like, ooh, you didn't actually listen to the album, like my Judas Priest review. Yeah, I listened to this album. I listened to it twice today. It fucking kicks ass. Please buy this album. Please support Overkill. I know I will be come July 18th, so buy it! 9 out of 10 for me. Danny here from Metal Couch, signing out.